your Laurel Court News Special Report, coverage of the 2016 United States presidential campaign. With me tonight is my good friend Harry Hairball. How are you this evening, Harry?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, let's start off with the number of Republicans running for the nomination. We have at least 19 that have declared their candidacy so far, as compared to only 7 Democrats. How do you feel about this, Harry?
Well, it seems to me that there are more Republicans running for office than Democrats. I would have to say that the Republicans have no one strong frontrunner. It seems to me that they're all just scrambling for a position. Democrats, on the other hand, have Hillary Clinton, who's a strong contender, and nobody seems to really feel that they can match up to her.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio's the youngest Republican to be running for office. In fact, the youngest politician to ever run for the presidency at 43 years old. How do you feel about Marco Rubio?
Well, I believe he has a long ways to go yet. 43 is awful young to be president. I really feel 50 would be a better age. He could use a few more years in politics.
Okay. Well, we have Chris Christie, who's campaigning in New Hampshire. He's trying to make a comeback now after months of scandal. How do you feel about Chris Christie?
Well, I don't really believe there's much hope for Christie. One thing is, I can't see him jogging around the White House grounds once a week.
Well, and we have liberal groups who aim to register at least 1 million climate voters. They view climate change as a wedge issue that can boost Democratic candidates while drawing contrast with Republicans.
Yes, it's not really going to help much, I don't believe. Climate is always changing, just like politics.
Okay, well, we have Bill de Blasio, who didn't endorse Clinton when he had a chance to. This drew scorn from Clinton supporters. Any thoughts on Bill de Blasio?
Yes, I believe it was a mistake on his part. He really should have supported Clinton while he had the chance.
Okay, well, we have Kelly Paul, the wife of Rand Paul. She says her husband's not a sexist. He's been accused of sexist tones after getting testy with 2 female news hosts. Any thoughts on Rand Paul?
Well, I believe it's not very presidential of him. He needs to learn to control himself a little bit better. Not very presidential.
Okay, well, we have Ben Carson, who's to announce his 2016 intentions in Detroit on May 4th. He's a long shot contender. Any thoughts on Ben Carson?
Well, just as you said, he's a long shot. I really don't believe he has much chance.
And we have Marco Rubio, also, again, that says he's done more on immigration than Hillary Clinton's ever done.
Yes, this is just nitpicking. No one in the country's done anything about immigration for the last 8 years.
Okay, and Marco Rubio again is battling Jeb Bush for money in Florida. Jeb Bush has stayed on lockdown for money, it appears.
Yes, Jeb Bush is by far in front. I don't see any chance that Marco Rubio can draw the funds he needs out of Florida.
And last but not least, we have Hillary Clinton, who's declared her candidacy just recently. She started off campaigning by van, making a trip to Iowa. Any thoughts on Hillary Clinton?
Well, I believe she has a Democratic nomination in the bag. There's really no other Democrats that can challenge her effectively. One thing I would have liked to have seen is if she would have taken a motorcycle to Iowa instead of a van.
And that's it for this special report. We'll be back with more as the campaign develops. Have a good evening, everyone.